Alright guys, welcome back to the vlog. So today we are testing out a Grand Cherokee WK2. It has a quadra track, all-wheel drive system, and we're kind of just playing around right now, testing out, just on some muddy terrain. This is just some light four-wheeling, nothing too crazy. We've got some mud holes over here that are actually kind of decent. They're not really deep, but this could bottom out right here, so we may try just some smaller stuff now just to see how well the quadra track works and how it kicks in. I'm trying to learn a little bit more about this system, so let's see how she does. Oh my God. Well, she hit it a whole lot faster than I thought she would. Oh, wow. I think you jumped it a little bit.
Yeah. I was gonna go for the big one, but then you were up there. I was like, God, I'll get him.
I don't know if you want me to get in. I'm pretty dirty, but
Alright, you can walk the rest of the way up there. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Unlock me. There we go. I'm gonna try to keep my feet on these nice floor mats.
There's some snow up here.
There is actually a little bit of snow.
I thought it was cotton at first, and I was like, there ain't no.
That's definitely not cotton. That's definitely not cotton, and I'm definitely rolling this window up. So yeah, this is a 2011 Grand Cherokee. She's actually got 92,000 on the clock, and it's really never been off-road before. So this is kind of its first little, this is sort of off-roading, but not really. I mean, we're just going up kind of like a muddy trail. It's nice and wide, and you can't really hurt it right here, and that's our primary reason for coming up here. We didn't want to go somewhere where we scratch this thing, and we're kind of unsure of how good the quadra track system really is. I've read some stuff about it, and it seems okay, but at the same time, it's one of those deals where, well, let's test it, because I'm not familiar with it. I know more about like with lockers and stuff like that. In the manual four-wheel driver, you got 4 low. Here, you don't really have 4 low. It's kind of just built in. So here's a, oh, this is coming in quick. Oh my gosh. Okay, that was really deep. Okay, let me get out. Okay.
Sorry, I got excited.
Okay, and you need to back up and get a little run and go, because if this thing sinks right here, you're gonna get stuck. Because you stopped a little short of it, and I mean, so far so good with the quadra track. I gotta brag on it. It's not a bad little system, but this is a pretty deep little mud hole right here. I'm kind of worried about her honestly hitting this one, but we're gonna do it for the vlog. That log's probably, that's a good 2-foot deep puddle. This is not fooling around. I would probably go for the left puddle just because there is a log on this side. So we're gonna see how this does. This is gonna be kind of cool. Oh wow, that is not what I anticipated it to be. I thought that would be a lot better. But yeah, we're just kind of playing around with this thing, and it seems pretty good. That one wasn't as good as I expected it to be. Of course, this trail that we're on right now is mostly for ATVs, dirt bikes, stuff like that. This is kind of an entry road to it. And then there is some side roads that's really challenging, and we were unsure to take them. So that's kind of why we're just playing around with this new quadra track thing, just seeing how it does. And so far, it seems pretty reliable. She hit some pretty good little puddles there.
I was wanting to do some donuts back there. So you said there's a log in there?
Well, on your left side there's a log, so just kind of be aware of that.
Oh, I ain't gonna go that far over.
Okay.
Right.
Well, let me get out. You wanna?
Okay.
Yeah, we wanna film it. We're gonna see what you got here. Okay. So. All right. Now, some of the mods that is done to this Cherokee, it's actually got a Old Man EMU 2.5-inch leveling kit on the front. rear is running a stock setup. She's got a set of Nitto trail grapplers on the stock wheels and tires for now. Of course, this thing was bought like this, so we're basically just giving a baseline test to see how well it is, okay?
Back from the dead.
That wasn't half bad. I gotta give her credit. She has absolutely no fear at all in that Jeep. And that's not really just like something you would want to go beating on. I mean, this thing's kind of nice, just to be honest. I think these things back in their day were, you know, 33, 34 grand, something like that. So, of course, we obviously did not pay that for this. You hit that one pretty good.
Yeah, that's fine.
I gotta give you credit. That one was pretty good. That was cool. Okay. So far, my first impressions of this thing off-road. It's not half bad, and here we go through another puddle. It's not half bad. The suspension actually is really soft. I'm super impressed with how smooth the suspension is. It seems to steer pretty good. You know, she's not really fighting it or anything. We do have traction control off. I'm not sure how that would affect the Cherokee if you had traction control on. I do know that I've seen a lot of people turning it off, but it's kind of odd that this thing does not really have like a locker, like a rear locker or a front locker. She doesn't have any options for that. You guys have one little traction control button, and that's it. I mean, this is pretty much like, I think it's a Laredo.
Yeah.
So this is a base model. I mean, this is like low buck what you get. So, you know, it's a good package for what it is. I'm gonna get out right here and get you going through. You gonna hit that left one again? Is that the one you hit?
The last one.
Okay, so I'm gonna get out, get another shot. Okay, I will. So, I'll have to say, I think this Jeep could definitely handle a little bit more than I'm anticipating it. I'm impressed. Jeep has done fairly well with the Cherokee on the WK2. Of course, WK1s did not have the power this one does. This Pentastar is great. These things make, I want to say, like 280, 270 horse. I may be underrating that a little bit. They're close to 300 horsepower. It's just shy of that. I do know that for sure. So, I'm impressed. You know, we found this thing on a lot. We paid about half of what it was new. So, I think she walked out of there paying around $14,300, which was a steal for this thing. So, that's why we're not too scared to come up here and play around with it and see how good the engineers at Jeep are. Okay, that's, she's getting in.
Oh my god, that was really steep back there, so that's why I cut into it in the middle.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how, if you rubbed it all. So, you know, you do a 2.5-inch level kit, it definitely helps your Jeep out. So if you guys have a WK2 and you're looking to level this thing, I'm gonna go ahead and say that if you're gonna off-road it, you need a leveling kit at least on these Jeeps, because she's probably come pretty close to bottoming out. I mean, you can see there's a good amount of ground clearance there, but this is obviously not the ground clearance that the old Cherokees would have had, or even for that much a Rubicon or a Wrangler would have had. So, one thing to keep in mind, that if you're in a WK2, you definitely need a leveling kit. As my wife has shown, she's putting it to use today. At least a little bit. It definitely helps the Jeeps out. But this is by no means, this is, you know, a crazy trail. Like I said, we're acknowledging the fact that we are not off-roading hardcore. We are off-road, but we're by no means like hardcore wheeling, rock crawling.
This is my first time.
Yeah, this is basically her first time having a run and go at off-road. So, you know, at this point, any mud puddle at all is just exciting, just because that's how we all were. I feel like I was the same way. When I first got a four-wheel drive, I thought it was just cool that I was on a dirt road somewhere, you know, like I'm like, hey, I'm off-road, oh my God. You know, now I'm like, okay, where's the trail? You know, like, so it's kind of cool to see her get to experience this. Now, there's some side trails here that we're coming up on that are really tight. And then there's also some trails. Yeah, this puddle right here. Okay, about flip my truck in this puddle. But the camera doesn't do justice for how deep this is. But basically, if you walk off into that, you go, I think, a little bit past your knees.
Oh yeah.
That's, you know, a couple feet, maybe 2.5 feet deep.
Yeah.
We went off in that in my ZR2 that you guys saw in previous videos, and it pretty much sunk, and rear wheel came off the ground. I just stayed in it, left it in 4 high, and just nailed it, and it come up out of it. But that's probably like the closest I think we've ever came to flipping that ZR2. I definitely tested it to its limit that day. We've also had it up bumpus on an incline where the approach angle was maxed out. You know, I'm basically skid plating the dirt, and the departure angle, I've got a hideaway hitch, but it's almost flush with the bottom of the bumper. So, I mean, you're not really killing yourself with that. And the rear bumper pretty much touched as I was coming up too. So, you know, we've definitely had both, you know, as far as how far can you get it on its side and how far can you get it at an approach and departure angle. We've maxed it out. We know its limits. I think my thing with my truck though, it's so nice. The paint honestly is so nice on it. I would not go through that. That looks really deep.
Yeah, let's skip that one.
But,
oh, should we go check this one out?
So there is another side trail, but now if you go down this, you realize you may have to back out.
Oh, I can't back out.
Now this trail that we're at up here in Buffalo, I'm not sure. I think this is actually it's a 4-wheeling trail. I've heard some horror stories up here, so I don't know if this is a trail that I've heard some stories about or not, but it looks pretty deep.
Maybe next time.
I think what we're gonna do is next go around, we're gonna take my truck up through there, because the thing is, the width of the Cherokee, I'm pretty positive that she's a big old girl right here. You know, this thing is it's a good one, but she's kind of wide. So it's kind of like if you take it down a trail that's real narrow, you know you're gonna scratch it. You know, like it's gonna happen. You're gonna scratch it. So probably not gonna do that. But maybe this gives you guys a little, you know, insight on taking a WK2 off-road if you guys have one, or if you're looking into one. Right now, these are actually a pretty good buy. They're really roomy inside. Okay, like this thing is excellent inside as far as like a everyday driver that you can take places, and the aftermarket's pretty good on these. We've been looking at some tents that can go on the roof. If you want to do like some overland stuff in this, I think you definitely could, but hands down, you need a little lift. This thing obviously really needs some wheels and tires on it. It's running like a 235/80 tire, which, I mean, I guess it fits the stock wheel, you know, but she needs more of like I'm thinking 275/65 R17 with like an 8-inch wide wheel with like 4 inches of back space. You know, get something with a little more meat on it, something that's a little bit wider. You know, like a 265/70 would be awesome. That would really be the tire to have. So we'll have to see what happens here. But this guy, okay, so this is a new one. So this guy is walking his dog with his Honda Pilot. You're really close to the edge, by the way, but it's all good.
I just saw the doggy is right there. Hello. Hey.
He's just running, having fun.
Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoy this upload. If you like what you see, comment, subscribe, share this video. Stay tuned for more content. We got some mods coming for this thing. We just wanted kind of to show what a stock version of this thing can do. I mean, it is leveled, but before we do any mods to it, we just wanted to kind of give an idea of what this thing was like, kind of out of the box to us. And we're gonna build it up from there and see what happens. Definitely wheels and tires are coming. So stay tuned for that upload. If you're watching, like I said, like and subscribe this video. Peace.